W.com.
A mostly sunny good morning to you. I hope your day is going well for you, wherever you might be. Hopefully you're high and dry. For the most part, many of us are. Did get a little bit of precipitation, but not much over the weekend. And temperatures tried to warm up a little bit. Didn't do all that bad. We saw temperatures moving into the middle 70s, which is pretty close to what's average for this time of the year. Nighttime lows a little bit cooler, but not much. And overnight last night, we were right on as far as what we should be looking at this time of the year for an overnight low. Currently, we have 68 degrees at the airport, 68 at Radio Center. Downtown Midland looking at 71. Downtown Bay City is looking at 69. 52% is our humidity. That's heavenly compared to what we're going to be looking at here for the next few days. And we'll talk about that in just a moment. An east breeze under 10 miles per hour. So it's a refreshing day, 30.01, but the barometer is falling. Hot spot in the state right now is Benton Harbor. They're currently at 76. Coldwater, I should say 81. Coldwater is at 76, and we're seeing a number of middle and upper 70s over on the west side of the state and the southwest corner of the lower peninsula, and that's where the concern is right now as far as the weather as we go through the remainder of the day today and into the evening hours. It does appear as though a low pressure system, which is right now it's over northern Nebraska into South Dakota and west side of Iowa. That activity is going to be moving up into Minnesota over the next 24 hours. And over the next 48 hours, that low is going to be moving well up into Lake Superior areas Wednesday and Wednesday night. Thereby lies the problem because there is a warm front ahead of it. And eventually what's going to be happening is it's going to be drafting some really warm and humid weather all the way down from the Gulf of Mexico. Incidentally, New Orleans, Biloxi, Mississippi, Mobile, Alabama, into the Tennessee Valley. Heat indices this afternoon will be right around 115 degrees. They started their morning off in that part of the country with nighttime lows of 81 degrees, and it's only going to be onward and upward for them. Big warm up down there. Texas also looking at some really, really hot weather moving into Oklahoma, Arkansas, Kansas, especially the east side of Kansas, Missouri, looking at record-breaking heat. For us, tomorrow is not necessarily going to be a record breaker, but I think Wednesday, I don't really think there's going to be too much doubt. Wednesday, we should break the record high, about 94 degrees. And we're projecting a high on Wednesday of 96. So, and again, we're not looking at a whole lot of chances for precipitation on Wednesday. It does appear right now as though if there is going to be any rain on Wednesday, it'll be late Wednesday night and early Thursday morning, but that's going to blow through rather rapidly. And then Thursday, we're going to be looking at a high of about 88, but the humidity is going to be dropping. Then on Friday with sunshine, like it will on Thursday, Friday, a high temperature of 80 with sun. And then the weekend, upper 70s, low 80s for both Saturday and Sunday, with very little, right now, it appears very little chance of any precipitation. So for some of the events coming up this weekend, the Greek Festival here in Saginaw, the Seaboing Sugar Festival, we're going to be up there broadcasting on Friday. Art Lewis is going to be broadcasting from the Greek Festival also on Friday. We're going to have some pretty nice weather for outdoor broadcasts. I will be at the Saginaw Arts and Enrichment event over at on Ezra Park Drive. That is going to be on Wednesday. And right now I'm putting my dibs on that great big tree out there. I think that's, if I'm going to be outside, that's where I'm going to be with plenty of lemonade right next. But for right now, sunshine 80 degrees is our projected high. We should make it without any problems. Tonight, a low of 64. We're going to see some scattered showers around here. The best chance of any severe weather is going to be in that southwest corner, the southwestern third of the lower peninsula. And they are talking some pretty heavy-duty thunderstorms in the forecast for that area there. If we get anything in the way of thunderstorm activity, it will be after midnight. That's what it appears like right now, probably sometime between 2 and 4:30 tomorrow morning. So there might be a little rumble of thunder and some lightning to go along with a gusty wind here and there as these individual small cells, thunderstorms, move through the Great Lakes Bay Area, coming from the northwest and dropping southeast. But that's going to be short-lived because tomorrow, clouds will be decreasing very rapidly. Partly cloudy skies will approach 90 degrees for a high tomorrow, a low of 73. And then on Wednesday, as we said before, that's going to be the big warm-up. Overall, to take us through the 26th of the month, temperatures will be averaging above normal. Precipitation values at or slightly below normal for this time of the year. Record high in this state is 94. That was set back in 1956. The record low was 42, and that was set in 1906. A year ago on this date, 84 was our high, 63 was our low. Much of the continental United States is beginning to warm up now, as we mentioned to you, the only exception being that northwestern 30% of the continental United States, where temperatures are below normal. So that below normal temperature area has shrunk quite a bit over the last 7 days. And we do anticipate it to shrink a little bit more, but not that much. There's still going to be a rather substantial amount of below average temperatures in the northwest part of the continental United States. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. Gary Kaufman standing by at Star of the West to tell us what the markets are doing. Hopefully they're not doing the same thing that New York is doing. All of that coming up, but first we want to remind you the weather forecast brought to you by the folks at Nutrient Ag Solutions.
Nutrient Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrient Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrientagsolutions.com.
They say there's a secret to growing a great crop. At Nutrient Ag Solutions, they beg to differ. It all starts with a strong foundation, and when it comes to fertilizer, there's no question that Titan XE drives dry fertilizer performance. They've been unlocking the potential in every prill of dry fertilizer with biocatalyst technology for over a decade. Visit lpi.ag/Titan or contact your Nutrient Ag Solutions crop consultant to drive your crop's potential today. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Ed Raymond and Sons, quality clothing and shoes since 1919. Red Wing, Carhartt, Stormy Cromer accessories, all available today at Ed Raymond and Sons, celebrating more than 100 years at 151 West Broad Street in Chesaning. They are open 7 days. Gary Kaufman, good morning. How are you this morning?
Good morning there, Terry. I'm doing well, thanks.
And the town is recuperating from Bavarian Festival over the weekend?
Oh, yeah. The guys are, they've been busy cleaning up this morning, and things look pretty good already, I'm sure. So.
Well, that's good. Father's Day is this coming weekend, so I think they'll be busy again.
Yeah, for sure.
What's going on as far as our markets right now, Gary?
Well, Terry, it's like anything else. We've had quite the ranges already this morning from last night. We started positive overnight early this morning, but that turned everything negative. So we've had a 40-cent range in wheat, 55-cent range in beans already, and 24 cents in corn. So, but anyways, everything's on the red side right now, Terry. Cash wheat is actually down a nickel right now at 10.31 on the white, 9.81 on the red. New crop is down a 4 at 10.37 on the white, 9.87 on the red. Cash corn down 8 at $7. New crop is down 3 at 6.63. Cash soybeans currently down 41 at 16.65, and new crop is down 45 at 14.58.
So, what was the damage done as far as the markets go after that report on Friday?
Yeah, and corn basically the supply demand summary told us that the 22-23 balance sheet found both acreage and yield kind of unchanged, with ending stocks was the higher, 40 million bushel higher at 1.4 billion, and that was nearly 50 more than the average trade guess. So they kind of had the stocks for corn slightly bearish on that. On soybeans, the carryout came in at 205 million bushel estimate, about 14 million below the trade average, and the export estimate was up 30 million, perhaps about double what the trade was estimating. And the bearish part of the report was on the world side of it, and that was the South America production numbers came in slightly negative, where they had Brazil up 1 million metric ton, and Argentina was raised up 1.4 million metric ton. So kind of washed both of them out in a way and ended up probably neutral. And wheat was neutral as well. Kind of everything was in line with trade expectations. Some of the updates, they had winter wheat production at 1.182 billion bushel, was only slightly above the average trade estimate. And the world numbers, really no change. Ukraine, as we all expect, the production was going to be down about 35% from last year, with exports forecast to fall by 47%. One notable change was a 1 million metric ton increase in production and exports for Russia. So all in all, it was basically bearish corn, bullish for beans, neutral for wheat at the end of the day. So,
all right. You have a great day.
I will. You do, Terry.
You
cool.
take care. All right. Gary Kaufman over at Star of the West. A little bit more in depth. Doug Klein from Oppenheimer joining me right now to take a look and see what's going on in Chicago. Market report brought to you by Schaefer and Beerline, where it continues to be spring Ram commercial truck season. But that's not going to last very long, so you better hustle over to the Great Lakes Bay Area certified ag dealer. They've been around since 1852, Schaefer and Beerline. And by Thumb Bank, serving the needs of farmers for well over 125 years. 2 locations in Bay City, also Cass City, Caseville, Pigeon, and Bad Axe. Thumb Bank, where relationships are built on trust. Doug Klein, good morning.
Good morning.
What are we looking at to kick off this marvelous Monday morning?
Let's call it a week. Let's just be done with it right
Last
now.
week we were talking about a white flag. You got it out there already, huh?
Already. We're done.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know. The dollar hit a 20-year high this morning and still high. So that's very, 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 very negative for us. Crude oil was down $3, and I just saw a flash that went by that said it's actually turned positive. My quote is still not positive, but I'm about 20 minutes behind, so I'm going to report that it's down $1.50, even though it's not. All the stock indexes, every one of them to the penny, hit new lows for the year today. Of course, the stock market down over 600 points. You just can't beat it. When your government hates you, they're gonna bury you until your attitude improves. The beatings will continue. So raise the white flag, and just say, "Hey, I surrender." That's what they want.
I had a teacher like that.
Yeah, right.
That was a long time ago, and I forgot a long time ago.
Thank God. So here's your numbers. July corn is 765 3/4, down 7.5. December corn is 717 1/2, down 3, and September of 23 corn 668, down 6 3/4. The July soybeans 1707 1/2, down 38. November soybeans 1524 1/2, down 43 3/4, and November of 23 soybeans 1383 3/4, down 31 1/4. The July wheat 1066 1/4, down 4 1/2. December wheat is 1095, down 3, and July of 23 wheat 1087, down 4 1/4. So crude oil 119.39, down $1.28, but I hear that's coming up. The heating oil is $4.20.67, down a nickel. Gasoline is $4.06.07, down 11 cents. Natural gas $8.60 down 24 cents. Like I said, the Canadian dollar, the U.S. dollar, hit a new 20-year high today. So the Canadian dollar, U.S. dollar at the border gets you 128.54 Canadian. That's up 78 ticks. The dollar buys you 134.19 yen. That's down 23 ticks. The euro is 104.31, down 84 ticks. The dollar's at 105.02, up 85.5 ticks. Precious metals are getting slaughtered today. There's no safe haven except the U.S. dollar at this point. Gold's at Gold's at 1825.50, down $46 an ounce. Silver's at 21.08, down 85 cents, and platinum's at 931.30, down $40.
All right. Tomorrow's a better day, right? Okay.
At least it's not today.
Not today, right now. Doug Klein, take care. Have a good one, all right? Along with us right now, Jerry Samolsky, Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville, where it's always a good day, right, Jerry?
It is. What a beautiful day today, Terry.
Yeah. Hey, our plants really haven't had a lot of stress, but now we're at the stage where we're starting to talk higher humidities and temperatures in that upper 80s and low 90s. What's your thought?
Terry, I think we're going to be okay. I know some of the things we've had an issue with when they come out of the greenhouse and they're lush and tender and they get out in the wind, they get beaten up. But I think things are hardened up enough that it's far enough along in the season. We're finally going to get some seasonable weather. I mean, norms right now about highs are 81, 80, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Yep.
So, when we hit this 90 degrees or, God forbid, 95 coming up, the corn guys are going to like that, but turf will not like it very much at all. So it depends. We deal with so many different crops, whether it's a magnolia, a peony, or turf grass. The needs are so varied. But all in all, I think it's going to be okay. I think some of the turf grass is going to take a beating. It doesn't like it hot. No matter how much you water or fertilize, turf grass does not do well. It's a cool season grass. It only likes to grow really well when it's cooler. So those people that don't like mowing grass and don't irrigate, you're going to love this weather.
I think so. Jerry, you take care. Have a good one, all right?
Yes, sir.
Talk to you again.
You ever think about how the best stuff always comes last? Like dessert and championships and weekends. Why do we have to wait so long for the things we love? Is this a conspiracy? At least farmers who use Sharpen herbicide as a harvest aid can skip to the best part of their season. The fastest dry down and desiccation means they get to a smooth harvest sooner. BASF, we create chemistry. Always read and follow label directions.
Along with me, Eric Sawatsky, Yo and Yo Accounting over in the Saginaw area here. Eric, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great, Terry. How are you?
Hey, fantastic. Let's talk a little bit about saving on income tax. You got a solution or two?
I do. One of my favorite tools is a health savings account. Not everyone is eligible to be able to open one, but the main requirement is you have to have health insurance coverage, either through your employer or if you go out and get your own coverage online. You have to have a deductible that is at least $1,500 if it's your coverage only, or if you have family coverage, $3,000. If you qualify for those what they consider high deductible insurance plan, then you could open a health savings account, and that can be done with any local financial institution. The advantage of these plans are you can put in currently this year, it's $3,650 for an individual or $7,300 for a family into the plan, which is basically like a savings account for you. And then you have several options with that. One, you can reimburse yourself or pay directly out of your account any medical expenses that come up, or you can leave the money in the account and have it grow for future medical account or medical expenses that come up, even if that's, years down the road in retirement. The big advantage of this is you get a tax deduction when you put money into the account up to that annual limit. You get tax-free growth because you can actually invest those dollars if you have excess money you're not taking out each year in that account. Many of those accounts have investment options, so the growth in there is not taxed. And then when you actually do finally get the money out as a reimbursement for medical expenses, that is not taxable either as long as it's used for medical. So you really kind of have a triple tax savings there. And it's something that is pretty rare in the tax world. So it's a tool that I recommend. And I'm actually seeing a lot more people sit back and let the money sit there and not reimburse themselves currently and just use it more as a retirement savings vehicle as well.
That's very interesting. Eric, thank you so much. Great tip. We'll talk to you again.
All right, you too, Terry.
You bet. Eric Sawatsky with Yo and Yo Accounting. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Steiner Tractor Parts. New parts for old tractors made easy. So easy. All you got to do is give them a call if you need that part. 800-234-3280. Or you can go to their website at steinertractor.com. And Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Krizak's House Family Restaurant. Here's the number for food. If you've got an event coming up and you want to supply that food and really, really, really have a nice event, 989-894-5531. Krizak's House in Bay City. Back at 12:30 with an update. Now we conclude our program with the playing of our national anthem.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Rocket